Hello people, welcome to ICX in Austria, and your today's host is me, Angela. And today we're gonna talk about interviews with IGV applicants. Okay, so the approving is the phase in between the raising and value delivery, and it contains of 6 steps. The first one is applying of the applicant, then they get accepted or rejected. If they are accepted, they are continuing the process, which goes to approved, realized, finished, and completed. Applying is when they apply for any internship or project in ISEC. Then accepted and or rejected goes after the interview. That's what the IGV decides if whether they should accept or reject the applicant. Then they get approved, which means that they're coming to the country. The Austria in this case is approved and they are coming. Realized is when they actually come to Austria. Finished is when the exchange is finished, like it's 5 weeks is done. And then completed is if we fulfilled all the exchange standards. So we have 3 things to look after. It's before the interview itself, and the after interview period. Before the interview, we need to send an email to EPs and to EP manager with all the information, like why are we contacting them, the interview dates, and all the additional important information. Over the email or WhatsApp, we are arranging the interview, which let the EP manager know about the arranged interviews. Like we need to let them know, give them all the contact, all the things we talked about with EP, and then we need to prepare for the interview itself. This is one example of a good email for the EP from one VP in Belgrade. It's just you can look it over, read it if you need to, and this is a message that after the email. Also you can read it, it's a very good example. And then preparation, it's CV screening time. You need to go over the applicant's CV, see like if anything like piques your interest the most, what is their motivation to apply. Read all the interview questions and prepare additional questions if you have like personalized question for that applicant. Then the flow of the interview is first check-in, short and sweet, professional, but not too warm. You need to stay objective, right? Introduction, we need to introduce ourselves and they need to introduce themselves. Then we need to see like their knowledge about the project and about the ISEC. Then go the personal questions related to the project, culture related questions, and check out. And don't forget, write the responses throughout the whole interview. You need to have your Google Doc open like next to the Zoom meeting or Google Meet meeting, and you need to write everything down as they're speaking so you don't miss any important information, since you will need to answers to your team and then to write full decision for that applicant. After the interview, you need to write an output, how it went, your opinions on the applicant, and so on. Make a decision with your teammates, just like see if that applicant is what you need and what you want for your project, and letting all the applicants know about your decisions. Like for example, you have one applicant, you need to, when you come to a decision with your team, you need to let them know like, hey, we accepted you or we rejected you. And feedback time, also that would be more for this case when they are rejected, to kind of explain why didn't we accept them. Preparation for, and then comes the preparation for the value delivery. These are some after the interview messages for EPs when you and your teammates come to a conclusion like whether you're gonna accept or reject the EP, so you can pause and read it. And final tips and tricks for the interviews. There's no such thing as being too prepared, so be as prepared as possible. Also, like, do simulations with your team, with your team leader and your VP. It will help you a whole lot and you'll feel more prepared. Write all the EP's answers as they are speaking. I already said this, but please, like, you need to write everything down and to have all the answers. Or maybe if you agree with this with your team leader and your VP and the EP or the applicant, you can record the interview, like maybe voice record or screen record, if that's maybe more convenient for you. And then you can look it over with your teammates and your team leader. Ask anything that interests you, whatever you maybe find at the moment that is right to ask, just go on and ask them. But don't make it too personal or maybe not relevant to the interview and to the project. Don't arrange a lot of interviews one after the other, because you're gonna feel tired and you're gonna get things mixed up, and it's really exhausting to sit down and have like 5 interviews in a row. So maybe take it one interview per day or 2 interviews per day, but not one after the other. And be polite and professional, which is the most important. And there's one ICX in Austria. Love what you do, and see you guys.